So, it really isn't a secret that I am a 43-year-old skincare nerd, and I just so happen to be a guy. But what I've been doing over the last 4 years has worked, and my face is all of the proof that I personally need to know that what I'm doing is working. So last week I bought you guys the Medicube high focus shot device. This is the new HIFU device from Medicube that I picked up when I was in Korea. This currently isn't available on the Medicube US website. It's got to get its clearance to be sold in North America. It is classed as a medical grade device, but the video for this device left you guys with a lot of questions, namely about this. The Medicube Age-R Ultra Tune 40.68. You guys wanted to know how it's different from the high focus shot, from the Age-R Ussera deep shot, and of course from the Booster Pro. And yes, I have the Sailor Moon version. So to answer all of these questions, I figured that I would do my review of the Medicube Age-R Ultra Tune device and cover all of that at the same time. So let's do this. Okay, so first off, what exactly is the Medicube Age-R Ultra Tune 40.68? In simple terms, it's the latest skincare device offering from skincare giant Medicube, and it combines 40.68 MHz ultra high frequency radio frequency and microcurrent. Now this combo aims to target the skin at approximately 3mm deep. Why 3mm? Well, it's all about boosting collagen production, improving elasticity and boosting skin hydration. And the end result? An immediate lifting effect. Okay, so to understand how a treatment session works, knowing a little bit about the frequency and the technology behind it will go a long way with helping. Now, as I mentioned, the Medicube Ultra Tune does operate at a frequency of 40.68 MHz, which is classified as ultra high frequency radio frequency. Now, on some of the sites you'll see it referred to as high frequency. The high frequency is referring to the device frequency and where it falls on the spectrum, but it is in fact radio frequency. Knowing that it's an ultra high frequency device is super useful because frequencies like this are able to penetrate deeper into the skin, and like I said, this one is reaching approximately 3mm. Now at this depth it's reaching into the collagen production layer, which is crucial for skin tightening and rejuvenation. But wait, I hear you say, isn't that where the facial fat is? Well, yes, to a degree, but we're going to touch on that a little bit later on. So the 40.68 frequency and the name of this device refers to how this device is transferring energy at a staggering 40.68 million cycles per second. And this rapid frequency causes the water molecules within the skin to start rotating really quickly as it passes through, generating heat through a process called dielectric heating. And this method is pretty useful for generating reliable and uniform heating, effectively stimulating collagen production without the need for excessive power output. And safety is also a big deal here. The Ultra Tune features skin recognition technology with a skin contact sensor and real-time impedance feedback. It uses 6 medical grade SUS tips, which is going to give you really precise application. Plus, being a Medicube device, it also includes LED phototherapy and an automatic shutdown system to protect against overvoltage or overload. Okay, so what can you expect from using the Medicube Age-R Ultra Tune 40.68? Basically, this device has been designed to target common skin concerns like deep nasolabial folds, drooping eyebrows, hooded lids, under eye bags, skin laxity along the jawline, fine lines and wrinkles. Basically, a lot of issues that you'll start noticing once you're kind of in your late 30s, early 40s and onwards. Now, the immediate lifting effect of this device is one of its standout features, as is being able to use this without the need for any specialist conductive gel. And obviously, being Medicube, they have done their own studies, and these showed an increase in collagen production of 110%, an increase of natural hyaluronic acid production of 214%, and elastin production up by 44%. Basically what it's doing is it is using the frequency to create thermal damage within the skin, and it's using the body's inbuilt wound healing response to create lift, to create volume and to create firmness. I mean, the human body is pretty amazing, right? So, as you already know, this is able to penetrate up to 3mm deep into the skin, which means it's going to be targeting the deep dermis, and it's also where you're going to start finding some of the fat cells kind of crossing over in some people. But the bulk of what's happening in this area is collagen production, or as you get older, a lack of it. And it's because of its ability to reach into this layer that makes it so good for that rejuvenation. But of course, knowing that for some people, facial fat cells are starting to kind of be in this kind of area where it's reaching, could be a little bit of concern for some people. Now, you already know that the radio frequency is causing heat within the skin tissues. And if the temperature rises sufficiently, typically above 45 degrees Celsius, which is this for my American friends, it can potentially induce apoptosis, which is programmed fat cell death. Now, this device claims to generate heat levels between 40 and 45 degrees Celsius, which is up here for you American beauties, which is absolutely ideal for collagen stimulation and collagen remodeling. But as we approach that 45 degrees, we're also kind of getting a little bit borderline to that apoptosis kind of sitch going on. And I'm not going to lie, when I saw on the website that Medicube claimed you can use this up to 3 times a day, I was thinking, are you insane? Like, I literally use radio frequency once a month because I'm in maintenance mode. But then I'm not taking into account the frequency, the usage style, and the availability of different power output levels. Now, obviously, keeping the device in motion is going to play such a big part in making sure that you're not letting that kind of heat build up too much in certain areas. If you hold it in place, you're not moving it around, it's just static, that temperature is going to build and build and build. And I have tried this. I know you're not supposed to do it. It goes against all of the recommendations. It's me. We all know that I'm going to do it. I had a little bit of a play around with it. I did hold it in place. On level 1, it took around about 8 seconds for the heat to become unbearable, which means that I know that it has already crossed over that 50 degrees Celsius point. On level 3, it took around about 4.5 seconds to reach that point where I can't hold it in place anymore. On level 5, it was like literally 2 seconds. I was like, ouchie, ouchie, no thank you, get off my face. So keeping it in motion is super important. Now, although they do market this device as being safe to use up to 3 times every single day, I still struggle with that. I personally will not be using it that often. Now, I have been using this for just over 3 weeks now. I've been using it every other day because I want to play it safe because, you know, I am in my 40s. My facial fat is super important to me. I really don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize it. So I'd rather take it slow like that. And then over time, I will build it up a little bit more until I'm every day. And then, yeah, if there's no negative impacts, then like I'll stick with that. But as soon as I notice even the smallest reduction in fat anywhere that I'm using this, then I'm going to cut things back. So if you do get this device and you are using it every single day, like 2 or 3 times a day, just pay really close attention to how your skin is responding. Look for those telltale signs of fat reduction. That if you're looking to reduce fat, by all means, go ahead, knock yourself out. But I would just be cautious about using it that much. Now, I actually spoke to my derm a little bit about this device. Yep. Even I have one of those. And she basically told me, be cautious. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm going to take the word of my derm over a manufacturer, no matter how much I stan the manufacturer and no matter how much I love and respect all of the science, the research and the development they put into things. My derm is going to win out because she knows my skin like nobody else. Okay, so in the Medicube Age-R High Focus High Food device video that I done, the most asked question that I got was, how does the Medicube Ultra Tune compare to the Medicube Ussera Deep Shot? So here's the lowdown. The Medicube Ultra Tune we know operates at a frequency of 40.68, which is 20 times higher than what the Ussera operates at. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, the Ultra Tune also combines microcurrent with its output, whereas the Ussera is ultrasound enhanced. The Ussera, when you're using this one, you are going to need to apply a conductive gel for the frequency to be able to penetrate from the device and through into the skin. With the Ultra Tune, no conductive gel is needed. And Medicube recommends that you use the Ussera device 2 to 3 times a week, whereas the Ultra Tune can be used 2 to 3 times a day. I've never used the Ussera 2 to 3 times a week. I've used it when I started out using it once a week for like around about 3 months, and then after that I switched up to once every 2 weeks. Now I just kind of use this like once a month just to kind of give myself a little bit of a touch up where I need it, because doing what I do and working kind of in the field that I work, there is such a thing as overkill. And you know, once you've kind of created that collagen, the last thing you need to be doing is breaking it down again. Like, give it a chance to take main character role. And yes, I am a huge cheerleader when it comes to taking breaks from all of your devices so that your skin gets to rest. I personally do that myself. So basically, the Medicube Ultra Tune offers stronger high frequency skin tightening without the need for a dedicated gel, and can be integrated more flexibly into your skincare routine. Whereas the Ussera is a little less flexible. Now, it's also important to note that the frequencies from each of these, they both penetrate to approximately the same kind of depths, The ultrasound on the Ussera will go just slightly deeper than the radio frequency on the Ultra Tune, but they are reaching approximately the same kind of depths. The difference is that with the Ultra Tune, these 6 tips and the spacing of them means that you're getting a really compact and precise treatment area, whereas with the Ussera, the frequency and the heat dissipation is a lot broader, so there's a little less control over this one. Now, while we're on this subject, another comparison worth making is how does the Ultra Tune compare to the Medicube Booster Pro? Basically, these are 2 very different devices. The Medicube Booster Pro has got no treatment modalities in it that generate heat within the skin. There's no radio frequency, there's no ultrasound, there's no high frequency, but it does use electrical frequencies like electroporation, needle-free microneedling technology, microcurrent, EMS, things like that. And this device is all about boosting product absorption and taking care of those most superficial layers of your skin. In simple terms, this is all about polishing and creating flawless skin and a beautiful complexion. EMS is going to be great for helping to build those facial muscles to give them strength and structure and volume, which as you get older, if you focus this kind of treatment on your cheeks, you're going to be able to give it a little bit more lift, which is going to help to lift your jowl, soften your nasolabials, just give volume, which is youth enhancing. Now we know that EMS depletes ATP. This is basically because the muscles, as they contract, they use ATP. The body will naturally replenish that on its own, but you can also use the microcurrent in devices like this to kind of speed up that replenishment. But when you hear people talking about EMS, it's not good for you, it's going to deplete your ATP levels, the body's going to fix that on its own in no time at all anyway, so yeah, no big deal. But devices with things like radio frequency, with HIFU, these things are going to complement and work beautifully with the Booster Pro's modalities. But yeah, if you're looking for skin tightening, collagen production, skin rejuvenation from the deeper layers, these 2 devices, amazing. If you're looking to amp up the effectiveness of your skincare and kind of refine your skin surface, the Booster Pro will not let you down. Okay, so it wouldn't be a video of mine if I didn't at least show you guys how I use this. So I'm going to give you a quick run through. But first things first, make sure that you have got a super clean face, because this is going to ensure of maximum effectiveness. Before using this device, if you've just washed your face, make sure that your skin is nice and dry. As I mentioned earlier, the device does work by rotating water molecules that are already in the skin. So no additional moisture is needed, and surface moisture could kind of detract from the work that it's doing at the deeper layers. And of course, being one of the Medicube Age-R devices, this device is compatible with the Medicube Age-R Clinic app. When you connect to it, it allows you to choose things like the power intensity, the volume of her speaking, the LED phototherapy color. For me, I've already got this preset to come on as the green, which is the volumizing. The device won't actually activate until all 6 of the tips come in contact with the skin. I'm just going to keep this on a level 1 while I do around my eyes. And then I'm just using really small circular motions, just working outwards and then upwards. And this is perfectly safe to use on the under eye area. And we're going to do above, running along the brow and downwards slightly. Do the other side quickly. It's a really gentle heat, but it's definitely a heat that I can feel. Around the mouth. Okay, the eyes and lips are taken care of. I'm going to amp it up now to level 5. On my skin, it is perfectly accustomed to this frequency output. And I'm just going to start off with my nasolabial, so starting at the corner of the nose. Down towards the corner of the mouth. And then back up. And then down. I'm going to do this 3 times. And then from the corner of the mouth, I'm just going to work outwards and upwards, following along the under part of the cheekbone, up towards the top of the ear. Then I'm just going to move it down around about ½ inch, and repeat. And again, and again. And then along the jawbone, I'm just going to slow things down slightly, focus a little bit on my pre-gel area. To go near your angle and then up. Then directly just at the angle of the jaw, so it's kind of where it's half up, half down. Elevate my brow manually, and then I'm just going to focus at the arch of the brow. So I want to generate that heat up here to get that extra tightening for the upper lid. This helps with the hooding.
3 minutes passed.
Slowly swiping it. I don't treat over my upper cheeks because I am worried about any potential fat loss. If I'm losing fat from my face, I definitely don't want it to be my upper cheeks. But I just don't treat there with any radiofrequency treatments really now, unless it's with my Nebulift, which I just do a really quick sweep over with.
Session complete.
And that's it, my full face done in 5 minutes. So I can see why they say it's safe to use up to 3 times a day when you're doing this, because I can feel there's definitely warmth in my skin and there's a little bit of residual warmth. When you're moving it quickly like that, yeah, it's not generating too much heat build up within the skin. I'm not quite sure that it's enough heat moving it like that though, that it's actually going to generate any benefits for like collagen production. The device does claim that it gives you an instant lift, and I've not actually seen that, which is surprising to me because the Medicube high focus shot device, the HIFU one, the results from this were instant. They were insane, like how noticeable they were. So I was kind of hoping it was going to be the same with this. Maybe I need to give it a little bit more time. I don't want to be too critical because Medicube has not failed to deliver so far. But yeah, I was just kind of hoping that it was going to give me the same dramatic results that the high focus shot has done. Because honestly, this device here, it blew my mind after the first use. I've now used it 3 times. And the combination from each of those results is kind of on par, on level with what I see within the aesthetics room. Yeah, so this one here is rapidly becoming my new favorite device. Not gonna write it off just yet, but the instant lift, where is it? It's not there. So like I've made pretty clear in this video already, Medicube does say that you can use this device up to 3 times a day safely. For me personally, I am using it once every 2 days, but then I am doing a little bit more of a focus session. So the demo I've just done is the manufacturer kind of recommended instructions, I guess you'd say. I kind of use things a little bit differently. I do like to build up a little bit more heat within the skin when I'm doing these kind of treatments, especially when I'm focusing along the jawline. I don't mind if there's a bit of facial fat loss there because, hello, defined jaw. But also I want that extra tightening and collagen production, and I just feel like that when I'm zipping along with this, that it's not holding the heat long enough to kind of get the kind of effects that I'm after. I would stick to Medicube's recommendations if you're using this 2 to 3 times a day. Do not go doing like I do where you hold it in place and move super slow. If you are doing that, then cut back your usage schedule. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how on earth am I going to incorporate another Medicube device into my skincare routine? I guess the first recommendation I would make is that don't use the Ultra Tune on the same days that you're using other high frequency treatments such as radiofrequency, as HIFU. I would bypass using this on those days, but the Ultra Tune will pair really nicely with devices like the Booster Pro. And if you really want to maximize the results that you're going to get with the Ultra Tune, you cannot go wrong with incorporating it with the Nearer Pro. The results that this has had on my eye skin texture, on the fine lines and wrinkles around it, on helping to soften my nasolabial folds, and really just kind of getting that collagen production going in the more superficial layers, this has been an absolute hero. And if you're like me and you've whizzed past your 30s, waved bye to them, and you're in your 40s or in your 50s and you're looking at boosting your collagen production, looking after all of the different layers is an amazing direction to take. It's the direction that I personally take, and I honestly feel that it's why my skin has transformed so much literally over the last year and a half. It's made such huge leaps and bounds. This is one of the reasons, and I know that there are a certain group of people out there who dislike nearer lasers for whatever reason, but all I can say is that for me, I don't get that. It's just been transformative, you know? But yeah, Nearer is going to work amazingly well with this device. For fine lines and wrinkles, obviously I use my Nearer Pro, but I do also use radio frequency. Obviously I've been using the Ultra Tune for the last 3 weeks. Before that I was using my Nebulift. Radio frequency is amazing when it comes to stimulating collagen and kind of helping with those fine lines and wrinkles. I also do a bit of microneedling when it comes to taking on the fine lines and wrinkles around my eyes. When I was testing the Nearer, I completely stopped everything and just focused purely on this. Now I combine the Nearer with a little bit of microneedling and radio frequency, and the results beyond beautiful. For collagen stimulation, both radio frequency and HIFU, these are literal superstars when it comes to collagen production, but with HIFU you've also got that added benefit of tightening and toning up that SMAS layer, which you can tighten up the skin all you want, but if the SMAS layer is losing its strength, everything above is going to be dropping as well. So for me personally, out of these two devices and these two treatment modalities, I really feel that HIFU is the cream of the crop. And then for improved texture, obviously you can use things like the Booster Pro, you can do micro infusion, a bit of microcurrent, things like that are going to help with improving the skin's overall texture and tone. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for this video. If you have got any other questions about the Medicube Age-R Ultra Tune 40.68 device, about how it works, about your own personal experiences with it, I would love to hear from you. Likewise, if you want to know more about the Medicube High Focus Shot HIFU device, click on the card up here and it will take you to the video where I do a really detailed review on this. The comments are now open, so feel free to get the conversation started. If you want to get your hands on any of these devices, links are in the description down below. Now, like I said, I'm not affiliated with Medicube. I don't earn any commission from Medicube because I'm not located in the United States. I'm going to throw links down below, which will generate me a little bit of affiliate commission. Now, you absolutely do not have to use those if you don't want to. And if you'd rather just go direct to Medicube US, you can do a quick Google search for that and that will take you there. And if you are in places like the United Kingdom or in Europe or pretty much anywhere outside of North America, you're going to struggle to find any of the devices that will ship to you. But I do have your back, and the links that I've provided, they do ship to countries like the UK, to France, to Germany, to Spain, to Italy, across Europe, to Australia, pretty much anywhere where someone might be located, you're going to be able to get them. I hope that this video has answered a lot of your questions that you might have had. But yeah, I hope that your day is as beautiful as you are and that you have the most amazing week ahead of you. And I really look forward to seeing you in my next video. So I guess until then, TJ over and out.